there, rockers. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here, and today is part one of how to keep your chords out of the poop zone. You know what I'm talking about, the poop zone. We're just talking about your chords sounding cruddy, okay? When I say you, I mean you, or me, or anybody who's listening where you're having some issues with your chords, okay? And this is gonna be a three-part series. In today's lesson, what I wanna do is I want to talk to you, one, I'm gonna cite some of my one-on-one students and what I experience with them still after 30 years of teaching. Students still do this all the time. And so I know it's not just Nashville, Tennessee. I know it's around the world. Everybody thinks a certain way when they're going to approach the guitar. Most people think a particular way. And I want you to understand what this thinking is. And when you understand what the thinking is, you'll understand, oh, I'm doing that. And then it's going to help with your chords. Okay, and so slow and steady wins the race when we're talking about chords here. Observance and changing your patterns, okay? Now we're gonna put this in real time here, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about so it doesn't sound so ethereal. And I promise you that this is gonna help so much with the way that you're thinking about your chords. Now, anything that we teach our brain, if we train it, it basically builds a neural path. When we're talking about neurons, we're talking about the brain and building pathways. This happens all the time when you, if you're able to get to this YouTube video, you've done that through a series of rituals. The first time you were a little bit, how do I get there? Now this is something you don't think about anymore. You're walking around, you're talking, you're doing all these things, riding a bike maybe, going to the pool, whatever. These are all things that you learned how to do. You forgot how you learned how to do them, but you did learn how to do them. Everything is a learned process, from playing guitar to anything, being a doctor. It's all learned, and anybody can do it if they take the time and the energy to do it. So with all that being said, don't forget that, because that's principle one here. Now, whatever we teach ourselves, whatever habit we create, this is with anything, not just guitar, but anything that we do continually, it builds a habit. It builds a neural path. You can think of a neural path as a meadow of grass, doesn't matter how tall, and you walk across that path. Okay, that field, let's say, and you look behind you and you see, oh, I can see where I stepped in a few of those places, and you try to go that same path and you look behind you again, twice as much now, and you're like, oh, I definitely can see the path there. Still a little faint, but I definitely can see it. You walk the same path again, you look back. You keep doing this, what happens is you keep patting the grass down and you're building a path, just like a trail. If you've ever been on a hiking trail or something like that, it's just mysteriously everything is clear. It's because people keep walking down that path, stuff stops growing, and you have a hole in the forest, if you will. So in the same way, we're building habits by doing this, okay? And it's absolutely crucial that you understand that, because if you don't, then you're just gonna kind of noodle at the guitar and you're gonna keep wondering why am I not getting it better? It's because we need to have very deliberate movements in the beginning, okay? It's just like a baby. The first time he's getting up to walk, he's all focused on it. He's not listening to tunes, he's not playing video games, he's not eating, I gotta get up, and every amount of his CPU is focused on that one particular task. If you don't start doing that with your playing, you're not going to get much better. You're only going to get to a certain place, and you're going to stop there. So when you're playing your chords, it's absolutely crucial that you really observe and you do things slowly. So I was mentioning I have students all the time when they come in, new students, and I'll say, well, can you play this chord? And they'll put their fingers there, and I see it a lot of times with teenage boys, but no offense, teenage boys, I was once one. But they'll go and they'll grab the chord and they'll do something like this. They'll be like, you know, and even though everything sounds harmonic there, you can hear there's a bunch of notes that aren't sounding. Okay, it's like 2 or 3 notes sounding there. That's terrible. But for some reason, they think that that's perfectly acceptable, right? Like not showering for a few days or something like that. Again, no offense, teenage boys, I was one. So it's really, really important that you say, no, I'm not going to play this wussy chord here. I'm going to play this correctly. And so it's very important that you get on those fingertips. It's really important that you observe when you're playing. When you're playing through the chord nice and slowly, you have the opportunity to hear if every note is sounding. If you're just doing this, you're kind of plowing away at it, then you're fooling yourself. You ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling anybody else. They're like, guy's playing a sucky chord there. He's in the poop zone. And so let's not do that. Let's not fool anybody. Let's start being serious here about our playing. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick that chord very slowly. If a note is muted or buzzing, if you get this kind of sound, and I'm picking slowly, stop. Stop on that note that's not sounding right. I can feel that note vibrating underneath my finger, that string, so I'm going to press a little harder. There comes that note. Now that note's fixed, I'm going to play through it again. That last note's muted, I look, I can feel that string hitting the back of my finger, so you're observing. You don't only have to do this in the beginning, you have to be like 100%. And then as you start going on, you can start pulling back a little bit, just like you don't think about riding a bike or walking now or talking, you just do it because you've had so much practice. Well, in the beginning, just like the baby who's learning to walk, just remember that analogy about the baby. If you do this, then you're going to be really good and you're going to be set. Okay, so important that you take the time to investigate each note as you're playing it, then adjust your finger as I talk about in the free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Go get my free stuff, tons of free stuff for you, my friends. That's it. The next, we'll be doing a part 2 here in just a moment. But hey, do you like this video? Am I helping you? If so, the best thing you could do for me is hit thumbs up and share this with your friends. Like it, subscribe, share with your friends. That's how YouTubers like me get to other folks who need help, and you're kind of doing a good thing for the world because you're sharing, okay? So share a little bit, if you would, please. Let other folks know about this on social media, and that sort of thing. That would be very helpful. And please leave your comments and feedback below, even if you don't agree with me. I don't care. You can say you hate my hair or whatever. I don't care. We're all have our own opinions. So leave your feedback and comments below. Would love to help you. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all those fun places, Snapchat. So please look me up there. Would love to help you out. Please spay and neuter your animals. Be kind to one another. Don't trust the man. Practice your guitar. I'll see you.